Good morning. It's Monday morning, sort of, and we are here to welcome you to your next week in October. I believe it's October 12th now, so good for you for getting here. 8 a.m. Monday morning California time, and we are here to help you get your week started. It's Monday Momentum, your Momo. We have a special guest today, and I'll introduce him in just a minute, as well as, of course, our regular Linda Kay. But what we're going to be talking today about is network marketing. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I think it's all network marketing. And some people have visions or ideas about what network marketing means to them. Sometimes that's kind of a positive thing, sometimes maybe not so much. But to me, we are always building a network, we are always building relationships, and I don't care what you're doing, you are network marketing on some level or another. Every time you meet somebody, every time you try to get a message to someone, it's sales, it's network marketing, and the stronger you are at networking, the stronger you are at building a network, the more success you're going to have. So that's just my 2 cents worth, my opinion. And the reason that we have Ron on today, who I will again introduce in a minute, is because one of the ways that people begin their business experience, if they are thinking about starting a business, if they are thinking about going out on their own, and we think probably a lot of you are those people, they start with network marketing. And it's a great way to start, because if you are working in a job and that's all you've ever done is be an employee at whatever level and have never run a business of your own, starting in network marketing can give you a lot of structure so that you are not like inventing the wheel completely, because you don't want to risk everything on your new venture. And if you haven't necessarily got a strong idea or an invention or something to build a business around, exploring network marketing can be a great way to sort of get your feet wet into this whole idea of running your own business and learning those business skills that you'll need to learn to be successful, whatever your business will be. And probably, well, I think everybody on our panel today, at any rate, has been in network marketing at some point or another. Lots of us have, and lots of us started that way. So I'm assuming that lots of the people in the audience, because they're people that are working from home and are solopreneurs, a bunch of you may be network marketers as well. And when I'm speaking that way, I'm talking about working for a company and building your business with them. So I know that some of the stuff that Ron's going to have to share with you today is going to really inspire you and going to help you solidify your decision about what you're doing. And that's a great thing, because you can do really, really well when you work in network marketing. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ron Wilder. And Ron is another CEO Space member, just like Linda and I, and we were always talking about CEO Space. So you'll probably find that he has some ideas in common with us. And Ron, why don't you, if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself, say where you're from, and then tell a tiny story about how it is that you got involved in network marketing. Would that be okay?
Oh, sure, that's fine. Thank you. So my name is Ron Wilder. I live in Reno, Nevada. We've been here, oh gosh, about 10, 11 years now, something like that. I'm a Silicon Valley transplant into Reno. Background is electrical engineering, microprocessor design, embedded control systems, all that little nerdy stuff. And so, you know, the world I'm in right now, which is network marketing, as Sarah talked about, is really kind of a big stretch for engineering. But I'd say back in 2010, I guess, something like that, I was shifting from engineering more toward internet marketing, and I had written a book called The 4-Hour Book, of all things, How to Write a Book in 4 Hours. And it was good. It was my first real book that had gotten out there and made some money with, actually. It was kind of a surprise. And I ended up coming across a gal who needed some help with her website, because I had to do a website for my book, 4-hour book anyway. But it was interesting because she is having some problems with her website. We were part of this mastermind group at that point. And she said that she needs some help with a website. I said, sure, I'll give you a hand, because she liked my site, so I was kind of giving her help. It was only a couple hours worth. And she wanted to pay me for this, and I was like, well, I don't really, I don't really need any money for that. I mean, it was not worth the billing, right? I mean, it takes time to actually write the invoice up and everything else, and it just wasn't worth it. And she said, no, I got to pay you So I'm like, oh, okay, what do you do? Maybe we can just trade something, right? And she says, I do essential oils. And that's the multi-level I'm doing. And it was interesting because I thought, oh, okay, well, how to use it. I mean, you mix it with gasoline, or why don't you send me a case of oil? That'd be fine. Just 1030 weight, synthetic weight. That's all I need, right? Synthetic type oil. And she was just laughing at me, and I was like, don't you do synthetic oil? I mean, my car required synthetic oil, right? So I'm like such another planet, um, and she was giving me these little tiny bottles and these little bottles of oil. So of course that was totally outside my world, and I laughed when she suggested I might want to start a business in it, and I kind of sat for a little while, like about a month or so, a month and a half, something like that. But anyway, she ended up wanting to buy me some oils, and I thought, well, money was pretty tight back then because starting author or whatever you call it, and my wife was in a job, but I was thinking maybe it wasn't going to survive very long. So I thought, maybe I should take advantage of this free stuff, pay for my wife's Mother's Day gift, and go from there. And my wife was blown away. She loved the skincare products that we had, and so she, that plus the lavender, which is one of the oils. Anyway, it just, as things happen, a month later I called her up and said, so this really, you can make money with this? Because I needed to make a couple $1,000 next month, right? And she said, oh, sure, just come to Utah and learn how to do it. And I drove out there and gathered $150 in cash to get my gas money to go to Utah. I spent a couple days out there, and kind of my eyes were opened at possibilities. I mean, I walked into this gal's house who was presidential diamond is a rank level. Walked in there, and I think I stopped counting at 8 bedrooms, right? It was like this mansion. It was like unbelievable. And being the male chauvinist pig that I am, I said, so what does her husband do? He's living pretty well here. And one of the gals said, well, he supports her in her multi-level marketing business. And I was like, oh, you mean this company did this? I mean, she got 3 years. I was like, wow. I'd heard of stories like that, but I didn't really believe, I didn't believe them, right? I always thought it took 10 years to build to that kind of a level. And so, it made me think, it made me think about it real seriously. So I came back to Reno and I started working it. I started doing the things you do. You connect with people, you do the various things you do to build a business. And we can get into that if you want. But bottom line is, I got into it, and year and a half later, even that month later, I made the 2,500, and so it gave me the belief, a big part of any kind of business is, am I going to make it, right? Am I going to, if I put my energy into something, is it going to produce the fruit to make you feel like you believe in what you're doing? And it did. So, and I look back, I pinch myself, the reality of network marketing is it's given me all my time back. It's given me cash flow, and it's given me all my time back. And one of the big things with MLMs in general is, if you listen to the experts, they say create your multi-level business to create the cash flow, right? And then once you've created the cash flow, right, you then invest that cash into secondary things like investments or another business or other forms of multiple streams of income, right? MSI. And so you don't depend on the MLM itself as your primary income source, right? You use it as kind of a seed, right, to build your next level, which is a more stable level, right, technically, because multi-level businesses come and go, right? We know. I don't know. I'm sure you've all met people that have done multi-level businesses, and the companies are poof, right? Now, I don't believe the company I'm with will have any of those kind of problems, but why put all your eggs in one basket? So, but as far as what Sarah's talking about as a way of getting started, if you need some cash flow, it's one of the absolute fastest ways to get money flowing, and it's very low requirements. Low startup costs, low time investments. You can walk away from it. You can come back, and it will still kind of be there. You do that with either with other stores or other kinds of businesses. You disappear for a while, and poof, right? It's all gone.
Right.
So
Can I slide in here for a second, Ron?
go for it, yeah.
So thank you very much. It's a there's so many details to your story that I would want to focus on for people that are examining this or exploring the whole idea of network marketing, and a couple of them, and then I'll be hopping over to you, Linda, in just a minute. But taking the time to learn about the company that has presented itself to you, because it may not be the perfect fit for you. There are plenty of companies out there, and if you're looking and because someone has appeared in your life saying, try this company, great, explore it, examine it, and then maybe take some time to look around and see about some other companies. There may be a better fit, and when it's a good fit, it's much easier to succeed. And then, I love the story of what you saw, having some proof, having some real evidence that, wow, this really does work, can motivate the heck out of people. And again, that would be something you might want to see if you're just beginning to explore a company. Linda, do you have experience in network marketing? And tell us a little bit about it if you do. And then I'm wondering, what kind of question might you have for Ron? Because he's done very, very well, which is perhaps something you've picked up. He hasn't directly talked about it, but he's been able to build to a level where now what he's doing is looking at how to invest that income into other streams of income, which is delightful to have that kind of a challenge in your life. Where should I put my money? What do you think?
Well, I have actually tried the multi-level marketing avenue myself to the point where I attended a lot of the meetings. The meetings are fabulous. They give you lots of energy, excitement, lots of focus. And they teach you about basically, network marketing. To me, I'm making a distinction between multi-level marketing, networking marketing, and relationship marketing, because I think everything has multiple components to it. So for me, I guess I would like to ask Ron, do you see the distinction between network marketing, relationship marketing, and multi-level marketing, or are you really considering them all in the same?
Network marketing is a relationship business, okay, as any business should be, okay? It's just that's the entire focus of the business. You see, in most other businesses, your focus is spread in so many different directions. I mean, in a traditional company, you've got to worry about all aspects of building a business, right? If it's a product-based business, you're dealing with having to, source the materials, bottle them or manufacture them, distribute them, manage the financial side, the tax side, the structural organizational side. I mean, there's just so many pieces to a product, right? Supplies, right? A service-based business, you're focused on you've got to have the expertise. You've got to have all these, you're trading time for money, right? And so in all businesses, it's all about relationship developing, right? Developing relationships with people in order to nurture the continued relationship. I mean, true success, financial success and freedom, I believe, is created through passive income, right? And so passive income is income that's going to come in whether you are working or not. It's just going to keep coming in. Kind of think of it as investment type income. Only with network marketing, you're investing your time. Okay, you're investing your time in others to create and inspire others to want the same thing that you've got, right, or same thing you want. And in that process, you're developing these relationships with people that are lifelong, right? I mean, when I talk to people about how to go build this kind of a business, I say go out and make friends. Okay, that's the goal. Go make friends first. Once you find somebody that you kind of resonate with, you can leverage the products to help build the friendship even more, right? And then once that combination is had, you can leverage the products and the friendship to build a business, right? But it's relationships first. It's all networking, right? And it doesn't matter whether it's network marketing or any other kind of business. It's all relationships. And if you can develop the skill sets and the heart, right, of wanting to help other people be successful before even you're successful, then you will be successful. It just flows. And that's really the essence of network marketing, in my opinion. Is that kind of...
Absolutely. I think it's a great distinction, and I love how you talked about how when you start any other kind of business that you've got to worry about all the different hats. You've got to worry about sourcing the product and delivering it and all that other stuff, where in the multi-level marketing arena, that's all taken care of for you.
Yep.
So it's one less thing that you have to stress about.
Yeah, and the thing about network marketing is it's like kind of like franchising in the sense that they've already put a system together for you, right? Except with franchising, you have to spend tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get started. You can get started in network marketing for $35, or $50 or whatever your MLM is, right? And start and follow the people that have been successful before you, right? It's all about duplication. If you specialize, if you're like an expert on something in network marketing, you're actually worse off than if you just become a clone of somebody who's done what they've done. And I'm not saying that you have to be a no personality image copy of somebody else. I'm just saying learn the skill sets, right, that they have learned, because they've proven it, right? Why would you want to reinvent the wheel that doesn't need reinventing? Now, as you become successful in the business, you can do your little pieces parts that make you stand out. And in fact, you tend to do that as you get more successful, because now you're leading groups of people. I mean, thousands of people are looking to you for ideas, and and things evolve, right? I mean, businesses evolve, products evolve, technologies evolve, and you can leverage that. I mean, we do online stuff. We do online training now, not just meetings like you talk about. And I always tell people, meetings are something that I do for my leaders, my downline, right? If I want to build a business, it's still up to me, right? And that's what I love about network marketing is you can go as far and as fast as you want based on your efforts, right? It's not depending on your team to be successful, for you to be successful. And that's kind of a weird thought, but the reality is it's still up to you. If it is to be, it's up to me. You've got to go out and have the big why, right? The reason that you want to go build this, because it's going to get uncomfortable, right? Anything you really truly want in life, you've got to push past levels of discomfort, right? I mean, I can simple things like just learning how to drive, merging onto the highway the first time. It's like and then after you've done it a few times, it's like, it's easy now. And it's true with almost everything. If you push past that level of discomfort, then it gets comfortable and it's easy, and then you can go to the next level. And there's a really good book I'd recommend to anybody called The Big Leap. It talks about upper limits that we all have. I mean, myself included, everybody has them. And if you can learn to become aware of what your limiting beliefs are, and you can push past them, you can achieve greatness, right? If you're not stuck in what you believe, in your cocoon of what your reality is, anything's possible. And that's true with any kind of business, right? But with network marketing, it's more focused because it's all about relationships. And most people's limiting beliefs are about relationships, And so it's like, fear of rejection as an example, right? Well, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. If you're gonna have to sell something, and you're gonna have to push past that fear of rejection, right? And the only thing that's gonna push you past that is your why, right? It's your reason you're doing this, right? And if you have a big enough why, a big enough reason, then you're gonna push past it, and you're gonna develop the confidence it takes to do whatever you have to do. It's just that it tends to get masked in other businesses. Sales is such a small part of it, it seems. But in reality, it's still, it's all about selling. I mean, in reality, you're selling yourself, or you're selling your product, you're selling your service, but you've got to do it. If you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be successful. So, network marketing just focuses on that aspect of relationship building that will help you in anything you do.
Thanks, Ron. I love that, and part of the reason I love it because I feel like it's what I said in the beginning, that it's, to me, all of what we're doing really all the time, in some level or another, is sales, and it's building relationships, it's networking. And it doesn't matter if you're working for a traditional MLM or if you're working in a job. You're still doing those things all day long on some level, and it's just, are you doing it intentionally with a purpose in mind? Which does not need to be cold or calculating. It just needs to be aware, because you can care about people and support them and want them to succeed in an intentional way versus haphazard, oh, maybe I just met somebody and that worked out, but I didn't really plan it. I mean, if you plan how you're going to nurture relationships and what you're hoping they will lead to, you're much more likely to have success. But it's all, we're not here by ourselves. We are connected to each other, and we are driven to be connected to each other. And when we do that, like I said a minute ago, in an intentional way, with the desire to support and help one another, everybody does better, versus pretending it doesn't exist, which is what I think a lot of people somehow decide, that sales is bad, that MLMs are bad, that they're people that are out to hurt each other. And you can find that in any sphere of the world, and it's plenty of places of employment are full of people that are negative as well. It's not the industry that's bad. It's what happens when people aren't paying attention to their true intentions and their heart. And so I love what you said about it. I'm curious if you would talk more about the stretching, because it sounds to me like, you listed a few, and there's many, I know, benefits to looking at what network marketing could do for you besides increase your income. You grow as a person. You have more friends. You're encouraged to stretch. You learn more about investments in other ways. If when the money gets to that point, you have support from your team about, okay, what are we going to do with this to grow your stream of income? So how about that stretching? You said that sometimes people just are held back. Is there something common that you've seen there, or a few maybe common limiting beliefs on?
Yeah, I think that people tend to really want to live in their comfort zone. I mean, that really comes down to that. And the first ones that usually appear are things like, oh, I only know so many people. I only know 10 people, right? And they believe that once they burn through those 10 people, that's it, and it's just so not true, because I always tell people there's way more people you don't know than you do know, right? And if you can develop skills, and it really is, it's just skills, it's just practicing things, right? And if you can develop skills to connect with more people, networking, right, then there's no limit. There is no limit of what you can accomplish. It's definitely the kind of a business that will force you, if you want to be successful, to push past those things, those limiting beliefs, and your why really is the thing that is your fuel. Okay, everything that you truly want in life is just outside your comfort zone, right? Everything. If you don't already have it, then more than likely the reason you don't have it is because you're not comfortable to go get it. And there's just, so many reasons: fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown in general, right? Fear of success, fear of failure. They're all there, right? And that's why I always tell people, to understand, in this business, the greatest reward, okay, it's not the money, okay? It's not the money. It's not the time you're going to get, even though that is, our biggest, our most valuable resource we have in life, right? You can't get it back if you lose it, right? You can always get money back, but you can't get time back, right? But it's just that belief that you can do this. You've got to be able to go out and do this. You've got to make the efforts, and you got to go make it happen. I lost my track of thought here, but it's
saying the best thing about this business is not the money or even the time, and I think you were maybe saying
it's the personal growth. In the end, it's
grow and how perhaps you help other people, and that feeling.
Yeah, and I believe that the person that you become through this process is not the person that you are today. Okay, the growth that you go through as a person is it's mind-boggling, and it's the most rewarding thing. I watch my team, as they quit their jobs, that have been driving them crazy, right? Or they let go of businesses that have just been dragging them down, right? Storefronts and whatever it is they've been doing to create the freedom that they're creating now, and the smiles and the tears, right, that come of just jubilation, of just knowing that they've made it, and it was through their efforts, right, and through their team. And nobody does this alone, right? Nobody. And I don't care what rank you get to in this business, it's because you are investing in others to make it happen, and others have invested in you to make it happen. I mean, that's the beautiful thing with network marketing, is that it's the personal growth side. And I can tell you one thing: my biggest fear I ever had was public speaking. Okay, you do not caught me dead in front of a camera talking to unknown members of people on the internet. When I started this, I guarantee you, 100%, I would have said, nope, not interested, because of my fears, right? Of, oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me, or that kind of stuff, right? And the reality is, I've gotten comfortable. I can speak to groups of people, and I don't have a problem. I mean, we had a meeting last week, and it was about 350 people or so. I wasn't even nervous. It was like it's weird, Before, I mean, in front of 5 people, I would have been shaking, right? Even if I knew them already, and I was master of the topic I was going to teach on. If I got in front of them, oh gosh, I would have just lost it. I mean, my mind would just go blank, 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 nothing. I could remember my name, and that was about it, right? Unless I had, like a PowerPoint, I can just read, But no, for me. I've had people come up to me at various, like at a convention. We have an annual convention. I've had people come up to me and go, Ron, you're different. You seem so much more confident. You seem like and it's like, really, yeah. And it's weird how that happens. In the beginning, I mean, like I said, I was not. I mean, I'm an electrical engineer, for goodness sake, right? I mean, I design microprocessors and circuits and embedded control systems and all that. And honestly, I haven't done that for 4 years now. I got started in this business 4 years ago, and I haven't done engineering for 4 years. It's a hobby now instead of a profession again, right? I want it to be a hobby, which is where I started when I was in 5th grade, building one-tube radios, right? I mean, I wanted engineering to be my hobby again, and now it is. So if I feel like I want to go play with it, I got the time to go play on something, right? If that happens to go somewhere and ends up becoming a business of its own, great. But it's not like my life, my house rent or my life depends on that cash flow, because it doesn't anymore. My wife doesn't work anymore. I mean, we've got to pinch ourselves. We put 3, 4, 5 hours a week into the business, and it's passive income, right? So no, it's cool. But the personal growth, that's it. I mean, who you become in this business is not who you start out being. You don't lose your core, okay, but you gain confidence. And confidence is one of the most attracting forces there is on the planet, okay? And once you've got the confidence, I mean, life's good,
Thank you, Ron. That was fabulous, and it's wonderful to see. I mean, you changed when you were talking about it as well, when you talked about how it felt to see people changing their lives, and how pleased you are with yourself that you were able to change some of your own beliefs. That's what we have been doing here on Monday Momentum as well. I know Linda can testify that for her in the beginning of just being on a video camera made her really nervous, and she's pushing herself to do it, and I know she's more comfortable now than she was before, and of course I am too. And that, we're almost out of time, of course, that's how it goes. but that's the thing that I would love for everybody out there to remember, and of all of this stuff we've talked about today, and really all the stuff we talk about all the time. This is your life. Go out and live it and enjoy it and push yourself and grow and find that wonderful feeling that Ron was talking about of, wow, I'm doing this thing that 5 years ago I was scared of, and now I'm not even scared. I'm not even thinking about it. And that's me? Woohoo! You know, that's what we're here for. And so yippee for Ron and for all of us and for all of you. Don't be afraid. If something scares you, that's probably the thing you ought to be doing. And maybe that is network marketing, because, you know, that's what our show is about today, but maybe it's not. And the message of who you become in the process, I think it's worth becoming a millionaire just because of who that would make you become to do that. Just like I think it's worth becoming a black belt because of who it makes you become when you do it. Anyway, so go get them, guys. I'd like to have Ron just check out, because if there's one more thing you'd like to say quickly, that's fine. And then how can people reach you if they want to contact you after watching this today? And then pass it off to Linda, and I'll close it out.
Great, thank you. You know, I find that it's a fun way to make money, right? If you're gonna, I look back at my engineering world, and I loved engineering, you know, but the thing I've discovered about network marketing is it's people. And as an engineer, you know, I sat behind the computer and created, right? And so for me, part of that pushing past it was just getting to be comfortable with people. And now I'm totally comfortable with people, you know. I don't worry about what other people think about me, even if I have crooked teeth or if I have no hair or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. You know, at one point in my life, it was like, you know, and network marketing, you know, is one way of doing that, right? I still can't believe, you know, what's happened, you know, in such a short amount of time, that you could actually transform your whole income, right? Your whole source of money, right? And get your time back at the same time. So I would invite you to check out network marketing. You can reach me at, you can go to my website, sharetheoils.com. I'm actually in the middle of developing a training system called 60 Days to Silver. And there's a link on the site if you're curious about it, where I show people how to get to that $2,000 a month level in 60 days or less. And that's it's not finished yet. That's what I'm working on. I'm becoming an Infusionsoft certified partner, so I can leverage the power of that and that technology and so forth to create that online training. So I can kind of go back to some of my roots of engineering, right? And but help them create something for themselves. And but yeah, sharetheoils.com is my website. And thank you very much for having me on the show, Sarah. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Ron. Linda?
All right. So one of the advantages of multi-level marketing is that they do help people with their own websites, just part of the whole package they provide. But for those of you that are in business for yourself that don't have that to take advantage of, once again, my name is Linda Kay, and what I do is I help people who have products, services, or ideas profit on the internet. So if you need a website created for you or updated, you can reach me, Linda at interactivesynergy.com.
Great, Linda. Thank you. So here I am, Sarah Coolidge, and if you're interested in learning more about networking, which is kind of what we've been talking about in detail today, and you're in the Reno Tahoe area, please look me up. You can join us on our meetup group, Reno Tahoe Networking, and we can help you build those networking skills so that you can have the kind of success that Ron's talking about, whether or not you're in network marketing. So please come back next Monday. Like us on YouTube. We have a Monday Momentum channel, and we're building that up, and we want to make sure that everybody out there knows it. So it's not like, it's subscribe. I'm learning still, stretching and growing, just like Ron was talking about. And one other thing I just wanted to make sure you all knew about in terms of getting rid of some of those fears that might be holding you back. I'm going to be doing a webinar series probably in about 3 weeks from now, and there'll be more on that on next week's show. and we're going to be going through the most famous book of all time, Think and Grow Rich, and there's a lot in there about how to eliminate some of your fears that are holding you back. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. Meanwhile, we'll see you here again next Monday, and remember, the whole idea is to start your Monday when you're working from home and maybe there's nobody cracking the whip over you. You have to crack your own whip. We want to give you some good momentum to start your week out right, just a quick shot of enthusiasm and some ideas, and that way you'll have a great week. And what will you do? You will slide into home base on Friday feeling really good about what you did. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.
Happy Monday.